The U.S. should store nuclear weapons in Poland, think tank says. Poland issues environmental permit for first nuclear power plant. U.S. Army hospital in Germany is treating Americans hurt fighting in Ukraine. War crimes dossier to accuse Russia of deliberately causing starvation in Ukraine. Former Deutsche Bank executive pleads guilty to crypto fraud charges, sentenced to 30 years for crypto fraud. Macron says France to ask oil industry to sell fuels at cost.
Lauryn Hill reunites Fugees at Global Citizen. Festival raises $240 million in commitments to fight world hunger. Usher confirmed as Super Bowl 58 2024 halftime performer. Russia sends thin-hulled oil tankers through Arctic, without ice protection for first time. The most intense heat wave ever recorded on Earth happened in Antarctica on March 18, 2022, scientists say, with 38.5 degrees Celsius, 69.3 degrees Fahrenheit, above normal, at Dome C.
Household savings in India hit a 47-year low at 5.1% of GDP in FY23. Material poverty increases in Spain and reached its maximum since 2014. Avoid words like eunuch in India. Press Council issues guidelines for LGBTQ news coverage. In the UK, census hugely overstated trans population.
Nvidia's CEO touts India as major AI market in bid to hedge China risks. Apple to scale up production over 5 times in India to $40 billion. In Italy, mafia boss diabolic, Matteo Messina Denaro, the last godfather of Sicilian mafia, dies in custody after nearly 30 years on the run. Iran says 28 Islamic State members held over Tehran plot. 41-year-old woman found dead after Florida alligator is spotted with a body in its mouth. In suit, alligator killed by Florida authorities.
Bitcoin's having 85% complete, with supply held by long-term holders close to 80H. Cardano sets new industry standard, with over 5 years of uninterrupted uptime.
Ethiopia's Tigst Assefa smashes women's marathon world record. In Berlin Marathon, Turkey's Ali Cengiz became the world champion in wrestling, after defeating Hungarian rival David Lasogzi in the final. Ajax Feyenoord football match abandoned, after fans throw flares onto field. Niger bans French aircraft from its airspace, and President Macron says France will end its military presence in Niger, pull its ambassador after coup. U.S. in talks for largest ever sale of arms, fighter jets to Vietnam. Portugal's first armed drone Spin announced, attacks targets at 200 km/h speed.
Kosovo monastery siege ends after heavy gun battles. Recently, Kosovo police surrounded 30 gunmen in monastery after officer shot. In the UK, Metropolitan Police request support from Army after officers down firearms. Recently, dozens of Met officers refuse armed patrols after colleagues' murder charge. Nagorno-Karabakh's Armenians start to leave en masse for Armenia. Armenia PM signals foreign policy shift away from Russia. January 2018 to June 2023, 1.6 lakh Indians took Canada citizenship. President of Swiss Bishops' Conference says it's time to abolish celibacy. Lego abandons effort to make bricks from recycled plastic bottles. In Greece, herd of sheep eat 100 kilograms of cannabis.
Toshiba, troubled electronics and energy giant to leave stock market after more than 70 years. In Australia, the federal government will redefine full employment to reflect a modern labor market, the employment white paper has found. Gen Z falls for online scams more than their boomer grandparents do. Anti-vaxxers are now a modern political force.
High levels of uric acid inhibit BAT, brown adipose tissue, thermogenic capacity through regulation of AMPK, and uric acid is a novel regulator of BAT thermogenic capacity, providing a new strategy to combat obesity. Cinnamaldehyde inhibits cytokine storms, induced by the ORF3, a protein of SARS-CoV-2 via RO cell elimination in activated T cells. Cinnamaldehyde can be used as a candidate molecule for COVID-19.
Fructose-induced mTORC1 activation promotes pancreatic cancer progression through inhibition of autophagy. Scientists identify 11 genes linked to aggressive prostate cancer. It has been found that mutant Greek letter alpha-synuclein, a protein to trigger Parkinson's disease, propagates via the lymphatic system of the brain in the monomeric state. Risk factor for Parkinson's discovered in genes from people of African descent. Baldur's Gate 3 releases character editing in new patch. Game organization Cheza chairman Haruhiro Sugimoto as president of Capcom says, software is too cheap, concerns over rising development costs.
Robots can help issue a fatwa, as Iran's clerics look to harness AI. Meta's AI chatbot plan includes a sassy robot for younger users. Saudi economy joins trillion-dollar club as private sector registers impressive growth. Italy's Istat, the GDP of 2021 revised upwards of 1.3 points to rise to 8.3%. Recently it has been speculated that Italy relied on GDP revisions to limit 2023 deficit rise. Alas, Italy GDP revisions offer government scant budget boost.
U.S. baby boomers are becoming homeless at a rate not seen since the Great Depression. In Switzerland, Basel City expels 11 beggars from Switzerland. 2 years ago it had been reported that Basel offers beggars one-way tickets anywhere in Europe. In Portugal, more than a third of young people have no stable housing. El Paso, Texas at breaking point amid surge in refugee, migrant arrivals. Italy criticizes Germany for funding migrant charity groups.
Writers Guild and studios reach tentative deal, potentially ending a months-long strike that ground Hollywood to a halt. Canadian auto workers approve labor deal with Ford. NASA's OSIRIS-REx, a capsule of rocks and dust collected from asteroid Bennu, has landed on Earth, now secure in clean room.